All right, back again. Technical Tuesday. So I think the last time we were working on getting this, our citadel, and other things to activate the black hole when it hits. I got this guy working. I well, let's see what we got. So shoot that. I think I need to slow. I need to give that more time. This guy. Let's see. Okay. Oh, he doesn't have that tag. He's really annoying. Let's go ahead and make it so we can F him up right quick. Yeah. Tags. See. Tags. Yeah, I guess I was already about to do that because it's getting on my nerves, chasing me. I do not like stalkers. All right, where's he at? Let's see. Shiz. It's not. That's interesting. So I suppose that. Hmm, that's interesting. All right, we'll deal with that later. I was just messing with his animation, which I'm not gonna show doing that because it was real simple. I just had to change some things. Anyway, so what we were doing is we were trying to work on our proxy so that it can knock out multiple actors when it expands. And it is struggling, and I can't even get to the other side to see. Why is it doing that? Oh, so that's what's happening. So basically, it's making a whole bunch of. Let's see. Let me try this again. I honestly don't know what that is. So I know these over here. I don't know what that is. If you're as lost as I am, you might want to check out the first video. So it absorbs it. I think it's making a bunch of different proxies. Black hole proxy. I think it's just repeating this. Hmm. Well, no, no, no. I think it's just well, I know it's repeating this. Let's check it out from here. It's very little. It's not gonna work. Okay, yeah. So our two proxies are basically repeatedly still doing the same thing over and over again. Let's stop this. So this Doom actor. So we want this to only happen once per actor. And once it gets a proxy, it doesn't need another. Let's think about how we're gonna do that. Okay. So yada yada yada, line trace, then we spawn a proxy. Okay, point. And then all of this happens when this happens. We want as many proxies. Oh, yeah, we're not gonna worry about that right now. Let's identify the real problem. It's it. And that's weird. It works perfectly fine there. Well, that would be hopeful wishing if it just worked all of a sudden. But that's happened before in like the first video, so nothing wrong with hoping. Alrighty. Well, it's working that way, but we need to see if we can get it to handle two static meshes and not start not wig out. Oh, and I just messed that up. Okay. So we're gonna put these together, shoot right down the middle. I'm wondering if I don't think this will work. Do once. I know it's happening. It's just basically repeatedly going through this. We might have to add a boolean, but then ooh, there's gonna be a tough one. Okay. I don't think this is gonna work, but hey. Those should only be these should only be spawning when the black hole. Hmm. So basically, this proxy is spawning way too many times. This is not, and it spawns whenever it's. Come on, it spawns when the sphere trace, when this black. So when this overlaps, it only hits if it has this target. And I think what's happening is it's hitting it repeatedly. So what we need to do is once it's a doomed actor, we don't hit it again. So what we're gonna have to do is every time that black hole hits any particular actor, it doesn't hit it again, which means we're gonna have to make an array and check to see if it's in that array. So let's do this. Delete this. To doing actors. I'm gonna save because this often breaks stuff. Or maybe it would be better to do it in this. Yeah, I think it'd be better because this is handling the shrinking and stuff. Black hole. Well, no, we don't want it to spawn. We're gonna do it in this, and then I'm thinking we can pass this over to this. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. So if this is true, we want to first let's turn this into array, into an array. Sorry. Okay. So uh, we're we're not even doing that, guys. Calm down. Calm down. Actually, we can just delete all this since we're letting our proxy handle all that. Don't need that either. Keep everything close. All right, here we go. So, I don't know, right? Get. No, 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 no. Add. So, this is our array. If an other actor is overlapped, we're going to add it to this array. Actually, yeah, this will look better. So, actually, we're going to add unique, which means if it won't add it twice. If it's been added once, it has to be unique. It won't add it multiple times. So we're going to add this to this unique array. All right. Check, 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 check. Work with me. Work with me. So we're going to add these to this array. I'm thinking this out as I'm going, so we'll see how it goes. All right. Now, if it's in this array, we do not want our proxy to mess with it. So we are going to have another array in here, and we're going to pass it over. All right. Oh, do nothing. Do nothing. Please. Please. I think this might actually work really good. Okay. So our Doom actors. Set. Oh, did I not turn this into an array? All right. Give me a second. All right. Spaghetti fireball. true. And if it's in this array, get a copy. No, no, no. Instance edible. Expose on spawn. That's the first thing we need to do so we can reach in there and get it. All right. Let's refresh our node. Starting to see a problem with this. Okay, we have an array of doomed actors. It's being set right here. So what this is in here, it'll be this in here. So when this spawns, okay, when this spawns, I think I know a better way. Sorry about that. Um, Sometimes I gotta think it through. All right, y'all good? Cool. Y'all good. Okay. So if this is true, we're gonna set it up exactly the way we had it. This part. And then we'll go back and fix the black hole. So if it has a tag, we're gonna set it as a doomed actor. And we're gonna do this. It doesn't become a doomed actor until here. And if it's a doomed actor, we don't want to do that. So I'm thinking equal. So if it equals a doomed actor, we don't want to do this because it's already doomed. So this is my logic behind it. Not saying it's right, but it's what I'm coming up with now. You definitely need that still. You definitely need that still. So if it's not a doomed actor, because if it is a doomed actor, we want to leave it alone. We don't want it to keep running this if it's already doomed. So if it's not a doomed actor and it has this tag, make it a doomed actor and run this. That's my logic. If it is a doomed actor, do nothing to it because it's already doomed. That is my logic. Let's take this off. Proxy. We go ahead and refresh this, even though it's still going to be there. Let's make this, take this expose on spawn off. Just go ahead and refresh it, buddy. Okay. All of this, I don't really think is necessary. since the spaghettification is being handled in the proxy. Ah, I probably shouldn't make it the left click button because it's like I automatically hit it. But let's see. There we go. Okay. So each one of these has its own blueprint. So that's the problem. Which means this is not gonna really help at all. How do we make it so it is ignored? I think the first thing we can do is I think we need to okay, here's my next reasoning. If we can make the black hole own each one of these it spawns, then we can do the doomed actor in the black hole. And this is what I mean. So on event begin play, we're going to add a variable owning black hole. That's an actor. It needs to be an instance editable. Scroll down. Set. So what we are going to do, no, we don't want to set it in there. So we have a variable in here, which is an actor owning black hole. It's an instance editable and it's exposed on spawn. So when we come here, we can refresh node, get reference to self. So now it knows that this particular black hole owns this proxy. Now, what are we going to do with that? It's not bad, but so we can get a better set of information. We're going to call this, we're going to change this from just any old actor to a black hole. Right. And it'll work the same because it's the correct actor class. So, yeah. So now let's see if let's continue checking before we get all into it. Owning black hole. We should be able to pull. Let's try pulling out doomed actors. Here we go. All right. So now that whenever a black hole creates one of these proxies, we have our owning black hole. Should be, you can shoot out 1,000,000 of these, but each one's going to be tied into that particular black hole, and we can get our doomed actors. And then we can add some logic to that. Okay. So next, what we want to do We want to do what we were just doing. So if this is spaghettifiable, we want to add it into our unique uh, our unique array. Did I? Okay. So if it's spaghettifiable, it's in a list of doomed actors. Okay. Now we have our list of doomed actors. Every time it touches something spaghettifiable, that will be added into here, into this array. We already have our owning black hole, which is whichever one we make, for each loop. How will we do that? Let me think. So we don't want to run this actually contains item. I think that's how we do it. Okay. So we have our owning black hole and we have the array. If this one the new proxy hits is contained in here, we do not want to run this. Let me know if you're with me still. So if that's true, bye bye. So this in here, if it's spaghettifiable, it's going to be added to a list of doomed actors. And this is simply stating that this is your black hole. In here, if it's spaghettifiable, which really doesn't need to be checked. Well, no, yeah, because this is running the logic. It's safe for now to just have both. So now what we're gonna do is we are gonna look at our black hole. So if it's spaghettifiable, true, and our only black hole's doomed actors array contains the one it just hit, we if it contains it, we do not want to do this. Wait. If, hold on. Let me think that one. Okay. So if it's contained in here, yeah. If it if it's contained in here, we do not want to do anything. But if it isn't, if it's a new thing, a new doomed actor in the doomed actors list, then we do want to do something. We want to shrink it, which basically what I'm thinking is it can make as many proxies as it wants, but those proxies are from the same black hole. They'll run their logic coming from that black hole instead of each individual proxy's blueprint. And they'll be like, oh, well, it's contained in here. So we don't want to do anything. Oh, it's true. It's in there. Do nothing. Oh, it's not in there. Oh, this is a new doomed actor. Let's shrink it. That's the logic behind that. All right. Like to hear, here you go. Damn. And did not work at all. Mm, it's not doing anything. Maybe I'm getting these backwards, or maybe it's just bad logic. I don't know. It made sense to me. This really shouldn't change anything if it's true. We're just adding this into a list. This is saying it's having a problem changing the location and scale. Oh, it's good to know. Very simple. So what I see is happening is we are shrinking the doomed actors, but we never set the doomed actors. So if it's spaghettified, and if it's not in this list, it shouldn't pass through there. So doomed actor. Set. Let's put this here. Yeah, there we go. So if it's spaghettifiable, if that's true, let's keep going. If it's in this list, don't do anything. But if it's not in the list, set this as a doomed actor, then run this. All right. I think we have a winner. And I think the reason why we're getting that on the true is because it was trying to do this, but it didn't have a doom actor to shrink or absorb, which makes absolute sense. And it's still not working. But we're not getting that problem. Maybe it's not getting past here. Easy way to check. It'll print if it, yeah, so it's getting stuck right here. Let's see why. think it's a matter of timing. So when the black hole hits it, it spawns it, and it's not. That'd be it. That's it right there, I think. Let's see what it's hitting. It's hitting Citadel too. Isn't that crazy though? Why is it working now? Because it's true that it's not in there. What? What? Hold on. Where's my logic missing? Add unique. So this is definitely working. It's in this. Matter of fact, you know what? Check. This will just tell us how many is in here. So we currently have 0 in there, and then 1. Wait, why are you not? Oh, because for this to even pull information from that, we need to separate these. Why are you not telling me? All right, let's just do that. Okay, there's nothing in there. Now there's 1 and 0. So there's 1 in there. Hmm. So it's being added in there. So hold on. We're gonna go through here and we're stopping right here. If this is in here, wait, I think I maybe just got this backwards. Oh, yeah, I did have it backwards. Okay, so if it is in here, we want it to. Okay. But the second one, the whole point of this is so it's not repeatedly spawning a bunch of them and affecting it. That's what I think we need to do too. Okay. So if it's contained in here, we want it to happen. But just so if it hits it again, we don't want it to run again. So then we need to clear out whatever it hit, I believe. It doesn't really matter what it goes on. So now, same thing, same logic. Uh, if it's in there, yes, we're gonna run it. Call it a doomed actor. Then once it starts shrinking, we're gonna clear it and remove it from there. So if it does hit it again, that will become false. Another thing we want it to do is it's working pretty good. We need to get the black hole to ignore. Which that's pretty easy to fix. We're just once we get this done, span the black hole, yada 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 yada. Yada yada yada. Expand the black hole. Delay, destroy components, blah blah blah. We only want this to happen once. Mm, perfect. Almost perfect. Except it wasn't. It didn't hit the other one. So I needed to hit the other one for testing purposes. So we're going to set our 3D scale just for the time being. Instead of it being 10, let's make it 20. There's no way it can miss the other one, and we can see if it works on working on multiple meshes or multiple doomed actors at the same time. A bluey, and it doesn't. And I know why. Yeah, you can't walk through it. Can you walk through it? I'm pretty sure I know why though. So this is what is causing everything to happen. It has to hit this collision sphere. So when the black hole expands, this needs to expand with it. Otherwise, it's just going to stay in the black hole and it's not going to hit anything else. So, bent graph, yada 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 yada. Well, no, it's doing the shit. Uh, Thickness. Let's make this 5 so we can see it easily. And let's see what's going on. Yeah, it's hitting stuff, but it's not running the same logic. So this should print out everything that is overlapping it. Oh, so that's crazy. It works, but why didn't it work the last time? I don't know. It's weird. Sometimes I don't know. It just needs to catch up sometimes. Or maybe it just needed a print string, which oops, this time it doesn't work. Mm, that is very interesting. I'm just gonna move this behind this so it stops printing the player character. Since we don't have that tag, it won't make it past that. All right, let's see what we got. It's like sometimes it's never sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There's a legitimate reason. So we are going to find it. Citadel 2, Citadel. All right, that worked fine. Citadel 2, Citadel. So it's hitting it. Why is it not running? It's base. Okay, I know why it's not working, but I don't know why it's doing that. So what's happening is it's not getting this information. When it hits the second citadel, sometimes it's not getting this impact point. It should give us two different impact points. And that's because it has two different impacts. There's one, there's the other. It's got something to do with that impact point. So this is the second impact point. Huh. Hmm. Oh, well, it actually didn't hit it that time. I honestly think it works. It's just, I mean, yeah, it does work. Maybe it's just not hitting it. Wires impact points. That shouldn't really matter. Try this. Let's change this to 100. Stream numbers. Always good for testing. Whoa. So that's not the problem. That is not the problem. This is all. This do want shouldn't. Let's why not? Let's put that back on. I really don't think it should matter anyway. Mm, so I'm gonna take a break in a minute and think about this. Yeah, I mean it should collide with that. Who am I kidding? No, I'm not. Check out that black hole. Yeah, it went through. It just spawned it right there. Well, we know what the problem is. The problem is it's not spawning it where it should. Why would it spawn it there? It should be spawning at this impact point where the sphere trace is. So the sphere trace must be hitting something. To ignore self. So there's a few things that this sphere trace is basically it's spawning this, but it's spawning it in the wrong location. And the only reason it was spawned is because it's being overlapped by something with the spaghettify. So we want we wanted to ignore the 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 doomed actors. Okay. Starting to make a little bit more sense. All right. I'm gonna take a break. We're at an hour, but basically, I'm gonna do a for each loop and put it in this to ignore. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, we're back here at a technical Tuesday. We solved the problem with the black hole not eating two things up, and essentially, it was just a collision problem. What I did is I basically just set the owning black hole back to well, I sent the proxy back to the owning black hole's location, its origin. So that got it working. It wasn't really that big a deal because you're not going to have too many things together. So I don't want to get into that so much. But